guys, it's time for another update on the real estate market. What's happening across Waterloo Region, and what I hear is somewhat similar throughout the entire province of Ontario. So what's happening there? Sellers, buyers, which side of the equation are you guys on? How are you feeling with the whole situation? Now, our thoughts were because of COVID-19, we might see a potential drop in the real estate on the market. And thus far, we haven't seen we've seen the drop for sure in volume, but we haven't seen the drop in prices, which is quite surprising. We saw a little bit of a blip there as far as the averages were concerned, but we're not seeing the overall drop, especially in what I call the affordable price range homes, which around here in Kitchener-Waterloo, it's $600,000 and lower, and possibly even higher, but I've definitely seen a lot of the under 600 selling for multiples. Actually, potentially just as much, if not more, potential buyers coming to the table than what I saw back in the height of the 2016-2017 real estate huge increase we experienced there. So why is that? What's going on? This is a little bit surprising to many of us. And of course, I'm sure there's many different factors that may be playing into this, but one of them we believe is the fact that many of the sellers, especially the older clientele out there, are just apprehensive about opening their houses up to allowing people into their homes. So they've opted at this point in time to hold on. And it could also be, apprehensions and concerns about, where's the real estate market going, what the prices are like. I am getting some buyers that are saying, oh, well, prices will go down, I'll hold off. But then again, they keep going to these offers, and we're getting 13, 14, 18. I've had as high as 26 offers on one listing. And of course, these prices are going up. We're getting 30,000 over, 50,000 over, 100,000 over, depending, of course, on strategy for marketing. So what does this mean to you guys? My thoughts as of right now is if you are a seller considering possibly selling your home, considering there's not a lot of competition, and for what I'm seeing, there's a lot of buyers out there that would love to take on your home, it would be a good idea to list that home now. I have no idea what's coming, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 8 months from now. It could continue to propel up, or it could start to sputter out. It's hard to say, but if you are contemplating selling your home, you are holding the cards as of right now, as far as I can tell. Again, it will play into, what strategy you do for trying to sell your home. Do you list low, try to bring in these multiples? Do you list at fair market value, or possibly on the high side? Also, what are you selling? Are you selling a $400,000 home, $600,000 home, or $1 million plus? So you're also going to play into how well things can sell in that regard as well. Buyers, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I'm sure many of you had hoped that COVID-19 might give you some reprieve in the real estate market, allowing you that opportunity to make that purchase, hopefully with not as many competitors. Unfortunately, that just does not seem to be the situation here. We are experiencing a lot of demand for our homes here. And again, I guess the question would be, do you, like the sellers, decide to hold off for another month or 3 months or 6 months? Or do you say, you know what, let's make that move now? So I'm going to say the same thing I say to pretty much every buyer I've ever helped, be it earlier this year, last year, or even 10 years ago. Do not think about the 1 year. Consider the long term. Now, if you're just trying to flip homes, then I'm not sure. I'm not overly confident about that side of things. Now, if you're going to flip homes over, obviously, the long term, then yeah, you're going to make money. Homes only ever seem to go up, generally speaking, in one direction. They go up in value. There's only so much land out there, and they continue to go up. So, yeah, if you're going to be looking at the 5-year plan, which is what most people do, then yeah, go ahead and buy, guys. Even if the market does drop a little bit later on, the point is it's going to rebound, and you're going to stop paying into other people's rents, paying down their mortgage. So buy now. The other thing to think about is, as bad as things seem now, are things potentially going to get even worse? Because remember, the current homes being listed and sold will become the comps that the next set of sellers are going to look at. And they're going to say, you know what, I want at least as much, if not more, than what the other parties were considering. So I know things seem bad now. I know way back when I bought my first home, this sounds funny, at $195,000 or so, I was freaking out. To me, that seemed like a lot of money. Obviously, looking back on that, I've done very, very well. I'm not home, I don't have to live in my home, but whoever does own the home has done very, very well. And of course, I did make money over the years as well. So consider that. Now, buyers, it will get frustrating in this market. And so one thing I talk to a lot of my buyers about is consider things outside the box. And that's partly our job as realtors to help you consider these other options. Again, we're not telling you which way to go or what exactly to do, but our job is to advise you as to what's out there and what we're aware of. So freehold detached homes is got the biggest demand, and of course, that's where the prices are really accelerating quite significantly. If you can compete in that market and take advantage of a detached home, by all means, I think it makes all the sense in the world. Go ahead and do so, especially before the houses get even more expensive. On the other hand, if that is something you just unfortunately cannot compete against, then let's think outside the box. And, what does that box consist of? Well, perhaps maybe consider some of the condo options out there. Condos, generally speaking, don't seem to have as much competition, again, depending on what's going on there, not always, and it does seem like more and more people are going in that direction. And again, when you're looking at condos, they're not always bad. Reach out to me. I can send you condos with low condo fees, which may be an option for you. So you something to look at. Again, it's information. If you have the information, you can make an informed decision and decide which direction you want to go. The other option, of course, would be considered the commute option. Of course, it's going to be more gas and wear and tear in a vehicle and everything like that. But that being said, you might get the home that you absolutely love. And perhaps you'll enjoy that commute. Sitting there and listening to the radio, catching up on the day, having a coffee. I've taken clients out to Brantford, Woodstock, Stratford, and of course all the townships such as Elmira, Ayr, New Hamburg, Baden, you name it, and just in the country. So perhaps that's another thing you can consider. By all means, I can send you other options outside the box, including the ones inside the box, and that way you can make an informed decision. You can say, hey, you know what? Perhaps it makes sense. Like I said, let's take Stratford as an example. Maybe it makes sense to do an extra 20, 30 minutes. You can pay for a condo here, but you're paying all those condo fees, and you don't necessarily like that style of living, perhaps in a high rise or all those different people around you. Whereas if you go to Stratford per se, you might even get yourself a nice detached home for about the same price, of course, depending on what you're looking at. So the point is, give me a call. Let's discuss all of your options so you can make an informed decision. And if you're looking at renting, by all means, the same thing. The rental market is very, very lean. Of course, the prices are very high. Once again, perhaps we need to look outside, typical options. Okay, guys, I look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to share this video with anybody who you feel may benefit from this. And before I forget, check out the mortgage video, which I've also will be posting shortly. Especially if you're looking at buying, the mortgage rules are changing, unfortunately. CMHC just announced this, and I do not want any of you guys to end up in a bit of a spot. So definitely, if you talk to your mortgage broker or lender, go back to them and say, I want to re-review things in light of the new rule changes. Or better yet, give me a call, because I usually have much better mortgages than what everybody else is offering. The big one to factor for, of course, is the much cheaper penalties. I got a lot of my clients right now who, thankfully, I put in with what I call mono lenders who have very low penalties, and it actually makes enough sense that we will break those mortgages, move them over to a different lender, and even though we have to pay a penalty, the amount of savings more than makes up for that. Whereas I'm getting calls from some of the people at some of the big banks, and unfortunately the penalties just don't warrant that switch up. So when you're buying, think about the long term. You don't know what's going to be coming at you. I've got some clients saying, Dan, even though my rate's still a very good rate, I want to break down so I can take advantage of these rates. Okay, so pass this information on to anybody who you feel may benefit from this, and I will just share with you guys the CMHC rule change here, the announcement that came out, and here she is. So as you can see, it talks right here about the GDS TDS, which is going to impact what buyers can buy by roughly 10 to 12%. Okay. The other thing, of course, is your beacon score, saying now that you have to have 680 or higher, and for some people, this could be a bit of a problem. That being said, it's not going to impact a large part of our overall buyer pool, so I don't think we're going to see any real significant change on the real estate market. So for the new buyers, they're hoping that it'll start to drop. Who knows? I don't think so, but by all means, if you want to hold off and hope you get lucky, then great. Sellers, again, I'm not too concerned about this impacting the saleability of your properties. You should do just fine in this market. But again, if you are concerned that these rules are going to impact the number of buyers that might buy your home, then once again, a good reason to put your house in the market. Okay? Wishing you guys all the best. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can be of service. And thank you for your time. Please share, please subscribe to either Facebook page or to my newsletter or anything along those lines. Wishing you all the best.